Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bargain Bin, a show about speedrunning games all under $20. My name is Midnight Vesper, and I will be your host for this show. If you're new here, here's how this whole thing works. For more current/digital games, we're going to be using stores like Steam, GOG, Itch.io, Ubisoft, Epic, etc. to look at the list/MSRP price. For retro games, we're going to be using sites that basically give us a good estimate of what those retro games would be. We do not count any sales or discounts because they vary from the time of purchase. So a couple announcements real fast. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can easily head on over to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick to check out our live shows. For more information, you can go to for more information on like the other shows we have some great shows that come on throughout the entire week. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And of course, if you missed out on any of the GDQ VODs or any of the hotfix VODs or anything that we do, we have our YouTube site as well, youtube.com/gamesdonequick. Check out all the runs from the mainline events as well as all of our weekly fantastic shows. And of course, in a little less than 2 weeks is Flame Fatales. That's going to be August 15th to the 21st. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information, including the schedule. And it's going to be a jam-packed week. I cannot wait for that. So as for our show at the Bargain Bin, last time we showcased Hylics 2. So I figured now we'd showcase Hylics, the first one. Why not? It's just all that claymation love. And of course, well, not claymation. After Hylics, we're going to be hiding in a box with our favorite snake in Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain. And of course, with all that being said, we are ready for our first run of the evening. So take it away, Wormham.
All right. Well, welcome to Hylics. This is a game. Sure is. And it's an RPG with kind of some surreal claymation action going on in it. So I don't want to spoil too much about the run before we kind of jump in. So I think the best thing to do is just to kind of get started, and you'll see for yourself why this game is so special. We're ready to go in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right. So we play as Wayne, who's this moon-headed man. I think the lore of this game is that he kind of crash-landed to Earth from the moon, and now his mission's to get back to the moon to get his payback on the evil Moon King Gibby. So we kind of believe that he's like this fallen prince type person. Oops.
So, right off the bat, this is Earth?
This is Earth, yeah. Well, we can, for all intents and purposes, it's Earth.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, isn't this kind of what you just see when you look outside?
That is true. This is exactly, yeah, this is what I see, so.
This is kind of just, this is my day-to-day life. I don't know about you. This kind of reminds me of, New York City or something, So we have to build our team, so we're off to go get our first friend here. Our first friend's name is Samsnosa. She lives in a house that's pretty far away, so we're going to be doing a good amount of walking through the suburbs of New York City, which looks like this. This game came out in 2015. It was made by a solo developer who just came out with a sequel last year, which you obviously might have seen on the program last week. He had a little bit more of a budget the second time around. So this game's pretty special just because, it was definitely a passion project. I think it took him like a year to develop. Right now I'm collecting some Dudoplasm, which is an item that will help to replenish our health later on in the video game. This game uses a mixture of claymation and digital art. So you'll mostly see the claymation in the enemy models when we're doing battle later on. Otherwise, lots of digital art kind of sprinkled throughout the game. So we're arriving finally at Samsnosa's house here. Samsnosa is looking for her magic gauntlets, which have just gone missing, unfortunately. Thankfully for us, we know exactly where they are. They're just around the back here. So we're going to sneak back here and get her magic gauntlets. and we'll give them to her. Those are going to increase her attack power, which makes her, I think, the strongest character in the game, if not the second strongest. They're pretty powerful. We're also going to learn a move here by watching a TV. So we learned Bubbles, which is a poison attack. That'll be helpful for most of the fights later on. And we're going to die. I am dead. You get this great death animation, which is just Wayne's face melting. It's pretty gnarly. And we're here in the afterlife now. So we'll be going to the afterlife a couple more times. It's basically a place where you can just choose a checkpoint and then get back to Earth. You know, Earth. This is the city in the game. It has a different name every time. This time it was called Cademouth, the bad city. So a lot of the text in this game is like randomly generated, or like somewhat randomly generated. So you kind of get a slightly different experience every time. Same with the mountain here. The mountain gets a different name every time as well. Just different letters and syllables kind of strung together at random. So here we're going to get some paper cups from this guy, Duduzmold's tent. That's going to be used to stop at water coolers along the way. And water coolers increase our magic points, which will be helpful for special attacks. Like this one here. We're going to watch another TV. This is Space Shurikens. This TV can be very finicky. You know, TVs just, you know, move around sometimes outside. So we learned Space Shurikens. That's going to be double damage. And we're going to do a little death here to the Flesh Stash. The mustache man with a tongue. Pretty odd. There we go. We died. All right, so we're going to die again. Poor Wayne. Wayne really gets messed up quite a bit. It's too bad.
Too bad.
All right. Now we're going to watch another TV and learn Mystic Meat. That's going to protect us from special attacks. And so I have no health, and we're going into our first major boss battle. We're going to go fight the Horrid Projection. This fight requires that we have very little health, so we can do one more fast warp to the afterlife after defeating him. So let's hope this fight goes well. Basically, I can't take any damage. If I take any damage, we're probably gonna wipe. This is probably the most luck-based part of the run. So hopefully it works out for us. Let's see how it goes. The Horrid Projection also has a guard that we have to take down. So I'm going to start here by using Hypno Sigils to put them to sleep. And we're going to use Space Shurikens to... Oh, good, they both fell asleep, yay. That's great. All right, so we're going to focus attack the guard and knock him out. And then we're just going to take care of the Horrid Projection. So that's a 4-turn fight. Thankfully. If they both don't fall asleep, we're in trouble. So that worked out perfectly for us. That's probably the scariest part of the run. And with that, the harbor gate opened, which means that we'll now have access to a boat. We're gonna go on the water in a second. So the game starts to feel bad for you after dying so many times. We've died three times at this point. So we're going to go down this way. This little staircase unlocks after you die 3 times. And we'll use that to get some will, which is the magic points in this game. And we'll get the Bestial Axe. Duduzmold is going to get the Bestial Axe. And then Wayne is going to get Duduzmold's weapon, the Dirk. I don't know why it's called a Dirk. I didn't know that the Dirk was a weapon name, honestly, until I played this game. Now we're back at Wayne's house, and we're going to next we're going to go to the graveyard and just do a little spooky walk. Do the monster mash or what have you.
I just love
taking the Long Island Ferry here. Yeah. What were you going to say?
The music is just such a great, almost audible visualization of this game.
Yeah, it's very discordant and off kilter, and that definitely enhances the kind of surreal aspect of this game for sure. All right, so we're gonna stay away from these ghosts. These can be a pain in the butt. We're gonna go down here and avoid these little meat zombie things. Pretty scary. All right, we're good. I would love to get an encounterless graveyard. This is probably one of the biggest time losses in the run, just running into people along the way. So we're going to activate all these switches here underground, underneath all these graves. And that will open up the next part, a little crypt area. Oh, I walked right into him. All right, we're good, we're good. A little bit scary. There's really no cooldown if you encounter enemies, so you like have to move away from them like the next frame. Otherwise, you're just going to keep looping into battle with them, which becomes a really significant issue kind of towards the end of the game. Hopefully we don't run into it, but
That's a really interesting strat just in the game in general, especially if you're a casual playthrough and don't know that.
yeah. Yeah, so encounters in this game can be huge time losses because you can just get stuck in a loop fighting these guys. Ugh. Oh no. Oh dear. All right, I'm just gonna try to dodge this guy.
Oh no.
I'm cornered. This is bad. This is bad, but I feel like it happens so often. Welcome to Hylics speedrunning, actually. Hopefully we can get out of here.
So is when you hit the escape, is an automatic, or like especially on your first turn, or is it like a traditional RPG to where you have like a percentage of what you can escape?
So you can escape some fights 100% of the time. Other fights you cannot. So for instance, in this last area here, which I hopefully don't get stuck in an encounter loop again, in the last area in the graveyard, there are a couple of enemies you can encounter who you just have to fight. So we're going to be very careful in this room here so that we don't experience what just happened. Oh dear. Okay. Phew! All right. Just got a little spooked there. That's fine. It is the graveyard after all. You're bound to get a little spooked. All right, and here we go into the crypt, away from the graveyard. All right, there's a cool skip coming up here called Veggie Skip, and we call it the Veggie Skip because we skip a vegetable-looking creature and avoid kind of having to do a battle. So you'll see this is a very narrow pathway, and the game wants you to get into some fights along the way here, but we just try to skip everything except for the major boss battles. You'll notice I'm not like grinding for any materials because we don't really need to, but the option's there, which can make the first playthrough of this game much longer than the speedrun. We're gonna try to do a skip here. I encountered him a couple of times, but we are able to consistently escape. And the big one we want to avoid is this Monoops guy who I just froze in place. That would be an encounter that we would have to fight. So it's super important that we don't encounter the Monoops. We made it. We're through. And we get these guys chasing us. If they touch us, it's instant death. So we don't want that to happen. Good thing we know exactly where to go, up and to the left. And so this game's divided into 3 acts. We actually skipped the Act 2 cutscene trigger, so now we're in Act 3.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So when we do the death warp after horrid projection, you're supposed to walk out of that area, but instead we just death warp, right? So we just skip the Act 2 cutscene trigger altogether. Now we get to activate all these switches, and once all these switches activate, we can move on. Now we have access to the obligatory airship. This is an RPG after all. So now we're going to go in here, and we're going to get our last friend in our party, Pongorma. This is another kind of spooky fight. Hopefully it goes well. We want everybody to fall asleep again. Let's hope that works out for us. Let's see. So I'm going to put everybody to sleep and focus attack Pongorma here in the middle. He did not fall asleep. And he unleashed the Dark Flame. Okay, so we're going to try to cast Hypnosigils again. Try to knock out one of these guards. I think Pongorma just fell asleep, which is great. So now I'm going to poison him. And we're going to take out the guard on the right. Hopefully. Good. Okay. And now we just spam attack, and then he should be out the next turn. Great. That's the Pongorma fight. Fights are going pretty well. Great, so we have everybody on our team now. Next up is Clawman. So we're gonna get into the last couple of fights of the run already here. This is the penultimate fight, the Clawman fight. This one's really tough to do when your team is underpowered. So we're gonna do a little bit of like bulking up here going in. So we're gonna start by getting this water cooler to increase our magic points. Then I'm going to switch things around a little bit. So I'm going to clear out Pongorma's inventory, switch it with Wayne's. And now we're going to just do a little bit of juicing everybody up. So Wayne's going to get some attack increase, and then everybody's going to get full health. Now we should be good to fight Clawman. This fight's still really tough, though. Hey, it's good old Clawman, everybody's favorite boss. Basically, he wants you to tell him the password to this laboratory, but we don't know the password, so he gets angry, and then we have to fight him. So here we are.
Now, I know with the fights, I think if I heard correctly on the last episode, since we were talking about Hylics 2, that like experience points were a little bit different in Hylics and Hylics 2, or is it just something for Hylics 2?
So there's no experience system in this game, and the game kind of makes a knowing joke about that at the end. Oh, great, Clawman's dead.
Oh.
Yeah, that worked out really well. Typically, he wipes my team, so that's
good.
Great. Today's a good day. Today's a good day for Hylics speedrunning. It's always a good day for Hylics speedrunning, but today especially. So now we have access to the lab. We're going to get $250,000 for our trouble, just from this money-making lab. How convenient. So yeah, there's a little joke about experience at the end that I'll point out when we get to the last fight. It's a very simple RPG in that way.
I've also seen chat just kind of like talking about this. I've seen people compare it to like Monty Python, Tool. There's a couple other ones that I saw.
I've never made the Monty Python connection before, but absolutely, yeah.
It definitely has Terry Gilliam, I think, was the animator for Monty Python.
Yeah.
It definitely gives off those kind of vibes, yeah.
Yeah, just like, kind of bonkers animation ideas. Maybe there's a little inspiration there from the developer. But yeah, if you're into this type of art style, there's a couple of other developers also doing kind of similar stuff. The developer Jack King Spooner makes a lot of like stop motion animation games. He's working on a new one I think it's called Sluggish Morse Pattern Circus. Hopefully that'll be coming out pretty soon. And he made the game Dujana as well, which is pretty cool. And then, there's also the game Dominique Pamplemousse, which is like a kind of fun stop-motion comedy noir kind of mystery game. It's pretty fun. All right, so we're off to the moon. We have everything we need now. We're going to purchase a ship key, and we're going to get some hot dogs.
As you do.
Did I tell you what the hot dogs are for, or do you just want to leave it at that?
Let's hold off.
You can leave it at that. Sure.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about. This guy's just in the way. So we'll frame advance enough to just kind of get past him, but we're gonna be, unfortunately, stuck. There we go. Great. So yeah, he just traps us, and again, there's like no invincibility frames on that. You just get stuck battling him until eventually you get past it. So that's a run killer right there. That kills many runs just by virtue of the game being the game. All right, so now we're in Gibby's lair, and we are going to get this weapon, Shimmery Axe, and give it to the Dusmol.
Are those all enemies?
These are all enemies, but you'll notice we're so good we can just like storm past them now. So, yeah. So there's this like huge group of enemies for us to just mow down here. You'll notice there's the veggie from earlier. I think we see Clawman up here. Just make an appearance again, because why not? Yeah, there's Clawman. Clawman dies twice in this game. How sad is that?
That is
Rest in peace, Clawman.
That's sad.
You really feel for Clawman.
Yeah.
And here's Gibby. All right, this is actually one of the easier fights in the game. Oh, Dedusmon has no health. All right, that could be a problem. I don't know how that happened, but hopefully he will survive. I think that happened in practice too. I don't know why. Let's see. Live? He's dead. Okay, this will make the fight more interesting. We'll do a little bit of improv here, but it should be fine. This fight's not that bad if you're just careful with evading special attacks from these guys. Okay, so now I'm going to use a hot dog. So hot dogs actually are they give you health, so pretty important that we use that right about now. I'll just do a regular attack on this guy. Hopefully our team doesn't wipe. I think we should be okay as long as I just keep using hot dogs and preventing special attacks from hurting us, but it could take longer. Oh, okay, Wayne's dead. Well, we might be doing this again. That's okay. Yeah, we'll just start over. We'll heal everybody up and try again. That's too bad. Yeah, I don't know why Dedusmon, yeah, it happens. I don't know why Dedusmon had no health there. It's weird.
We just get to see that.
But in any case,
we get to see the lovely animation of this again.
You get to see the lovely animation again, precisely. So thankfully we checkpointed, so we'll just activate that checkpoint. We'll take a quick rest on the couch, and we'll get back into the fight. Hopefully I still have enough hot dogs here. Yeah, I still have 10 hot dogs. That should be enough. This should be like a 6 or 7 turn fight, and we only need a few hot dogs. So this should be good.
So if you use an item and you die, can you get it back when you come back, or is it completely gone?
It's gone. It's gone forever. Yeah, so you got to be careful. Of course, I could just go to the hot dog guy and get some more, but I don't think we'll need it now that everybody's fully healed. So I'm gonna just start by poisoning Gibby, and Pongorma uses partial destruct, which depletes 25% of an enemy's health. So that's pretty handy dandy. Wayne's gonna use a hot dog here to heal the team. Use another partial destruct on Gibby. Okay, this is so far much better. Dedusmon's still hurting a little bit, which is a little bit scary, but hot dogs do save the day. The guard on the right is down. So next we're gonna try to take care of Gibby here in the middle. We're going to just continue doing the Space Shuriken's attack, which is double damage. Healing everybody up as we go. Oh wow, he used a drain attack on Wayne. Thankfully, he should be almost dead. Yeah, I don't see that too often, but it does happen. He should be almost dead here. Hopefully. I'm like crossing my fingers inside and outside. All right. There we go. All right, he's down. So this should be all set. It was a little bit scary because Wayne doesn't usually die, but we should be all set here. There we go. We got all 3 of them. So you'll see we gained a bunch of XP, and now Somsnos is level 63, Dedusmon, Pongorma, and Wayne is also level 63. Yeah.
I did see in chat that someone said that Gibby is also the king of the moon.
Yes, yeah. Gibby is the Moon King, and we believe that Wayne is like the Moon Prince. A lot of this is kind of inferred because, again, a lot of the text is randomly generated. But yeah, so Wayne is the Moon Prince to Gibby's Moon King, it seems. Seems to be the lore. So now we're treated to this lovely little ending moment. So Wayne, televised, partially adrift, rocks the homunculus out of the Lard Mountain. Thanks to the skeletons, a memory hoists remarkably, so will your radiance deceive outside truths? So ends the tale of the corporeal mirrors who sought to avenge, but sort of remarkably witnessed your weaponized science. Time comes up when the switch stops moving. That's time. That's Hylics.
such a game. I love. It's such a unique game, just that claymation and everything about that. On the last show, I think they said that the claymation was all like hand done and then like frame for frame inserted in here. Do you know if that was the same for this?
Yeah. Yeah. So he animates the claymation parts of the game frame by frame. He did an Instagram live last year and showed off his workbench, which had like all of his different claymation figures, and it seems like he just meticulously like alters the shapes of them like to get different types of animations. So yeah, it's like a very deliberate, painstaking frame by frame process, which is why I think the sequel took like many years for him to make. This one I think only took him a year, but still. It's a very painstaking process to make a game with stop motion animation out of clay, it turns out. But yeah, thanks so much for having me on the Bargain Bin. This game is on Steam, and I think it's on itch as well for pretty cheap. So if you're looking for an easy kind of entry-level RPG game to start speedrunning with, this is a really good, fun, funky candidate for that. And you can find me and my various weird speedruns at twitch.tv/warmham.
Yeah, and if anyone was interested in, checking out the run, maybe they played Hylics already and they're like, oh, this could be a really fun game to speedrun, where would they go?
We have a Discord. It's a very modestly sized Discord, but you can come by and we'll be happy to chat strats. I think that's through the speedrun.com page. There's a link to the Discord if you want to follow that, and people will be happy to answer your various questions about speedrunning the game.
Yeah. Any other comments you'd like to say? Shout outs? Anything along those lines?
Yeah. Shout outs to the Flying Marlin, who did a run of this at a GDQ a couple years ago. Thanks for putting that cardboard cutout of my face on the couch. That was really special. And shouts out to the other runners of this game, Burmy Slap, who has optimized the daylights out of this run with a 15-minute time, which is just ridiculous. And shouts out to the Hylics 1 and 2 speedrunning community. Keep it weird.
All right, well, thank you so much for showcasing that amazing, amazing game, Wormham.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
And just a reminder to our chat, these hotfix shows that we have every day throughout the week are brought to you by viewers like you. If you would like to have ad-free viewing, you can always consider using your Prime Gaming account to support the weekly hotfix content. If you'd like to support the channel in other ways, you can always consider subbing to the channel or even sharing it on your social media, all of our shows. And don't forget, if you want to see some of the other amazing shows that we have going on, you can always go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And there you're going to see a bunch of games or a bunch of shows that we all do, including what's going to be coming up after the Bargain Bin, which is speedruns from the Crypt, all showcasing horror games. But also, don't forget, in less than 2 weeks is Flame Fatales. It's going to be August 15 to the 21st, and you can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information. Like we said, we are not done with this evening before we end up going to speedruns from the Crypt here in about, at around 2.5 hours. We do have another showcase of Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain with Steg. So we're going to take a small little break to get all of that stuff set up. This is a great opportunity to stretch, use the restroom, get some water, hydrate, stuff along those lines. So while we go ahead and get everything else taken care of, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Bargain Bin, a show about speedrunning games all under $20. I'm Midnight Vesper, and as you can see, we're getting things set for Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain. I love the little stickers. We'll get into that in just a second. But first, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can head on over to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. Check out all of our live shows. And of course, if you want more information on the shows, like Speedruns from the Crypt coming up here in a little bit, or tomorrow with The First Step, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And of course, if you've missed out on any of the GDQ Hotfix episodes, or even some of the GD Summer Games Done Quick videos, you can head to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/gamesdonequick and check out all of the runs from all of the mainline events, as well as our weekly Hotfix shows. And don't forget, Flame Fatales is going to be August 15th to the 21st of this month, just a couple of days away. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information, including that awesome schedule with some amazing, amazing, amazing games. But speaking of amazing games, we have Steg here with Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, with an extreme zoom in. Oh, there's Snake right there. All right, Steg, how are you today?
I kept you waiting. Okay. All right. Hi. Hello. I'm doing well. Thank you. Joining me is Lacad on commentary. Hey, buddy.
Yep. Yeah, how you doing? Hope it's gonna be. Hope the game is gonna be all right with us today.
Hopefully.
Since it's PSNK, which stands for Perfect Stealth No Kills, New Game Plus. So we're gonna start right at the beginning with the Afghanistan missions, and so I'll let you do the countdown for it.
Yeah. Let me get all my stuff here before we get started. If you watched GDQ or SGDQ, may have seen Apache Smash with Snake Eater rocking the tuxedo in the game. We don't have the tuxedo available to us, but we have the sweet leather jacket. So for consistency, Apache, this is for you, buddy. We're gonna rock the leather jacket for this whole run, which means we have very little in the way of stealth, and we die very quickly if things go wrong.
What a pleasure, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That's going to be very relevant for a couple missions later. All right. So go ahead and 3, 2, 1, and go. I honestly forgot the countdown, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so as you see... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No. Okay, so as you see right at the beginning, you saw that if you played the game before, you know that when you start a mission from the chopper, you will have a chopper ride taking you to the LZ at the start of the mission. And what it did just now is what we call chopper skip, which is only available on the older version of the game. So basically, you want to highlight the mission you want. Not highlight the mission you want, but you want to start with highlighting a mission with a cutscene at the beginning. Then you're gonna flick the stick and the X button on PS4 if you play on PS4, or the A button if you play with the Xbox controller. And so by doing that, you will be teleported right at the beginning of the mission on the field. And so you see that you did a checkpoint too, which is useful because when you do the chopper skip, the buddy, so the horse over here, hello the horse, is not available at the beginning. So you do a checkpoint to make it spawn quickly. And I think that's pretty it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary of it. Chopper skip is like the reason we run the old version of the game. If you ever want to play this game as a new game speedrun, the old patch is kind of what's the most optimized and kind of the way to go if you're able to play it. If you have like the digital version of the game on console, it might be a little tough to get your hands on. But if you're on PC, it's a lot easier to get set up. Okay. Just trying to be careful here. I had to supply drop in the stun arm because I forgot it to equip it. But the stun arm we're only using for this one mission just because it's easier to take out all these guards with it. We could take them out like one at a time, but the stun arm is about the same speed. So it makes things easier. There's very little reason not to use it there. Since we're doing New Game Plus, you can do the missions in any order you desire. So just to get into the groove of things, we pick a really easy mission to start off. And then we're going to go right into the pain with the first real mission of the game, Phantom Limbs. So Phantom Limbs, if you do a new game run, this is normally where you would start the run. We don't play the prologue anymore for it. I personally I've played the prologue mission well over 100 times now, and I'm pretty sick of slowly crawling through a hospital. So thankfully, this is what we all decided on: is everyone can just start from a save file that's right at the beginning of Phantom Limbs. Makes things a lot easier.
Plus, this is the prologue is kind of a node scroller actually. I mean, there's nothing that much to do about it, except that I think you can. I don't know. I think you will have perfect stealth no kills, but I don't know because there's a part in the mission when you can get spotted actually in the prologue. But this is in most part this is a node scroller, so yeah, not very interesting. So this is the reason why we don't do this anymore.
So I noticed, maybe you've noticed, Lacad, but I kind of light on equipment right now, aren't I?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. But I mean, you got the leather jacket, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, this isn't on purpose. So
I know.
So there's an issue. There is one small quirk with old patch. If you do supply drops and then go straight into another mission, sometimes the game will just unequip all your stuff. So we have this problem where I sort of need some better equipment for this mission. So we're just gonna force that guard to sleep, and hopefully all our timings are still good. The thing about this game in general as a speedrun is most of it is like kind of cycle based. Usually if you're on time, the guards will all be in the positions you expect, and you can deal with them pretty routinely. But this mission in particular is one of the missions that is pretty RNG for this category. So we called in Pequod over to the base that has Miller. So we gotta save our good buddy Miller from a base full of soldiers here, and a lot of these guys.
Try to not get spotted.
Yeah, all of these guys are potential for ruining this mission. And there are plenty of dudes that could spot me.
And there is our man,
Yes,
Kazuhira
the
Miller.
legend himself. I have to call Pequod
the one
to
and
bring him
only.
to stay here. The one and only.
The one and only.
I hate this pistol. Let's see, he took out the AA gun. Stay to the left here. You look well. Alrighty, mission complete. Sometimes, it's pretty rare, but there's an anti-air gun way off on that left side. Sometimes Pequod doesn't want to deal with it, and if you don't slow down a little bit until he blows up that AA gun, you have a pretty good chance of getting shot down, going up in flames. So thankfully he behaved himself here. Thank you, Pequod. Good old Pequod.
I think Pequod. The good old Pequod.
So this mission, if things go perfect, they go exactly the way you want them to, you can actually do this as no traces, doing the strategy we did. And I think the guards lined up pretty well for that, but I didn't want to take any risks just for a little bit of extra style during a long run like this.
Just a quick note, on the score screen at the end, as soon as you see the Foxhound logo, you're good to go. You know that you have the perfect stealth, no kills.
Oh yeah, I am kind of rushing through it. You could keep an eye out for the emblem, or if you see the numbers in the bottom right ticking away, that means that you're good as well.
No worries. I watch carefully, my dude.
So now we're going into Hero's Way, and this is going to be the first mission that's really going to show you kind of some of the strange design decisions that they made as far as what constitutes as stealth. So on this mission, your goal is to eliminate a target. So typically for stealth, you need to extract the target, and then for anything else, you would kill the target. So we're gonna find a nice middle ground here. I have this beautiful sniper rifle with this nice scope that I use to just look at things. We don't use it for any other purposes. We just like to scout out missions with the sniper rifle. Like, we have these binoculars, but I like the way this looks, you know. So we're gonna come up to this window, and we get this beautiful view. We can see the target right in there. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Wow, gee, gosh. What
That's
happened?
embarrassing.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Gee. I hope that guy's okay.
Okay,
That window really took him out there.
Just
Okay.
took a bullet.
Just gonna take a little smoke break here. I hope everything's all right. Oh, hey, everything's great. Target eliminated. Oh,
Yay!
oh no.
Yeah, this is still the game.
gee.
Remember that.
What happened? Oh, yay, stealth game.
Yeah, stealth
Hey.
game. We didn't kill it.
Perfect stealth.
Yeah, because
So
the game
what
considers.
happens-
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
The
So
game.
actually,
You go
the
ahead.
game. Yeah. So actually, as you see, he just shot like a bullet straight to him. So you're probably gonna say something like, "Well, wait a minute. There should be no kills. What the hell is that?" Well, because the game consider he died. The guy died from the bleeding state, and not because we shot him right at the body. And yeah, that's an interesting thing. Like, if you shoot someone like in the body, he's gonna go in the bleeding state, especially with this weapon, which is a very powerful weapon.
Good way.
He's gonna go in the bleeding state, and so as you see, he used the cigar to go fast in the time, and the guy is just he just died from from his wounds.
Natural causes. Natural causes.
Yeah, natural
There was nothing that
causes.
could have been done for
Yeah,
for
really
that
important
man.
to notice. Yeah.
I showed up, I looked at him, he got hurt somehow, and then that was the end, and I don't know what happened. So we're in the quiet fight here. Our mission is to eliminate Quiet. So this is quite extreme. She can one-shot kill us. I think I missed. Oh yeah, I missed. Hopefully that does the trick. No. I missed.
I missed.
Live on television. Okay, here we go. So now you know what's going on. So I'm ordering a bombardment right on the corner here.
No doubt about it. She has to be one of the skulls. Now
Where's
move
she?
in and finish her off.
Oh, she did die. What?
What? Okay. Okay. That was
I did it.
interesting. Yeah, first try. Yay.
Yay.
Wonderful,
You know,
yay.
Yeah, first try.
it's going to be one of those runs. Perfect stealth.
And perfect stealth, no kills. Yay.
I'm a
Wonderful.
professional. Yeah, so we're gonna use a cigar here, and we want daytime for the next mission, so we're gonna give that a sec. We're going into Hellbound, which is a rescue mission. We're here to rescue Dr. Emmerich, and he's in the middle of a Soviet base camp, so we have to work our way up to him. If you've ever seen the IL for this run, it's a beautiful IL. This is one of the harder ones in the game, but if you do it right, it's wonderful to watch and see. We are kind of doing a mix between the IL strategy and the new game run strategy. So we're gonna start from here, and we're gonna say hi to this guy.
Hi.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Wait, yeah.
Gonna take a trank shot up on the wall there to distract that guard. And then there's a guard far on the right that we have to... Well, he noticed me, which is not ideal. So that guard that spotted me for just the faintest of moments is gonna go investigate now. And that's gonna kill a bit of time because we can't fast travel until all the guards are done roaming around and looking into little noises and things. So we'll just be waiting here for a moment until that guy feels he's satisfied. But once we fast travel here, we're going to call in a Jeep and we're not going to use that Jeep right away. We're going to plant it near where Emmerich is, and that'll be our escape strategy. Getting into the base, though, we're going to use all reliable D-Horse, and D-Horse is... Chad, do you want to talk about D-Horse, maybe? Say some
No,
positive
man, I
things
think I'm
about
gonna have
D-Horse?
PTSD talking about D-Horse, man. Like, well, D-Horse is, well, to control D-Horse, I mean, in all video games of the world, I think, like, horse movement always been, like, a nightmare to control. Like, and, yeah, sadly, Metal Gear Solid 5 Campaign is not an exception of that. Sometimes the horse can get like stuck on a little rock for some reason. He can, maybe sometimes you will want to jump over all the single rocks of Afghanistan for some reason. So yeah, so dealing, oh no, I just saw it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes the horse can be a huge problem. So that's why there's another buddy in the run actually called D-Walker, but we will see it in time, and you'll see it's gonna be easier to control, like way easier.
Support helicopter requested.
Yeah, D-Walker, or as one member of the community calls him, D-Waifu, is
D-Waifu, yeah.
wonderful. we absolutely love D-Walker,
Yeah,
flaws
right.
and all. But D-Horse is also, like, we riff on D-Horse constantly, but D-Horse is like really important for not only this run, but you know, the game in general.
Yeah.
D-Walker and D-Horse both fulfill very different roles, and we use them both in this run for different reasons, but for the most part, Afghanistan is going to be all D-Horse, and Africa will be all D-Walker. So they both get their time to shine and show their positive attributes and their negative attributes. Oh, hey, I guess I should talk about the weird thing I did. So there's an exploit for those that aren't in the know. If you take a smoke grenade and chuck it into the seat of a Jeep, that kind of sort of makes you a bit invisible a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So
we can
a
say
little
that.
bit. Yeah,
So
so
yeah. Oh, by the
It's-
way, this was the Metal Gear of the game, like the big robot you saw. So Tempest Sally
oh
is
yeah,
the
that
color.
was the titular Metal Gear back
Yeah,
there. Don't
yeah.
worry about that.
We just
That-
said a quick
that'll be
hello
thing
to
later.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's not really a glitch. It's just a weird quirk of game mechanics, but it does allow us to kind of sneak through and cheat stealth easily through some areas. So we just drove through a full base back there, and no one even batted an eye at us. So
Well, they
right now we're
actually-
just waiting on good old
They,
Pink Pod.
they actually see the Jeep, but for some reason, yeah, they don't like have any suspicion about, you know, some dude throwing the
Yeah.
smoke in the Jeep. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Who
still
cares about
game.
that?
I like how someone in chat just went off and said, the smoke cloud travels with you. And that just made me smile, especially when he stopped and then the smoke just kind of came.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Sahelanthropus, or as I affectionately refer to it, Sally. And Sally fires some pods here, and for this part of the game, anytime I'm in the chopper turret, I like to use the mouse. Otherwise, I'm a mousing or a controller kind of guy for this game. You know, pew. There we go. Easy peasy.
So is this a
Okay.
game where you can just easily like switch, or do you have to go into controls and constantly change that?
No, like if you're on PC, you can I just click the mouse and it takes control, and once I'm done with it, I just wiggle the control stick and I'm back to controller. Okay, well that was
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Hellbound. That went okay.
Yeah, that went pretty well.
Other than
actually.
where we were, other than when we were waiting to fast travel, that went pretty good.
Yeah.
D Horse treated us pretty well for a change.
For once,
Yeah,
the horse
we'll-
behaved for some reason.
We'll see
yeah,
if that keeps up. We have a-
yeah, fingers crossed for that, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I think at some point he will do some weird stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be the surprise.
Yeah. We have a couple of very D-Horse-centric missions right now, so hopefully, hopefully Haynes, all goes well. ASAP. Daytime is fine. Typically, if I, like, whether I pick day or night for these missions is pretty much based solely around the guards routing. Like, I'm in a leather jacket. Stealth is kind of out the window as far as if someone's going to spot me or not. I more care where the guards are planted, like where they're going to be, so I can just, you know, go through the fastest route possible. So some missions, day or night, doesn't matter. The guards will be in the same spots. Others, it's really crucial, one or over the other, to have the fastest option. A lot of the time, night is going to be the better choice, just because guards tend to be more grouped up during the day, but otherwise it's almost a non-issue outside of that.
But it can be tricky at night
So-
too, because since it's New Game Plus, the guards can have NVGs, so night vision goggles too. So they can eventually
Yeah.
spot you from some quite distance. Plus some missions, there's snipers. We love snipers. And yeah, they can spot you like from pretty far away, so it can be tricky, but we use some route and some path that we will ignore them, so you should be alright.
Yeah.
It should. I insist on that it should, because this game sometimes can be kind of a meme.
D-Horse got us here, yay.
Yay!
Let's see. So there should be a dude beneath us here. There's he. There's that. We're gonna... So on this mission, you have to destroy some communication equipment. There's 3 satellites it wants you to get rid of. But if you just take out that radio, that takes care of everything. I'm gonna throw this smoke grenade just to be safe, because that guy's looking at me funny.
I did see a question. I think it was a little bit discussed, but I'll make sure in case. Is the enemy positions, are they they're on a timer or are they RNG?
It's basically a timer. There's certain things we can do that will add RNG into the mix, like calling P-Quad into the middle of a base. For the most part, though, it's timer-based. Like, once you start a mission, the guards all start in the same area, and they have their route that they follow. There's not a lot of RNG that's going to happen that would have like an effect. So pretty much the whole run's timer-based outside of a few little things here and there. And I know someone asked about our weird alien weapons, but I think that's something we'll talk about a little bit later.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll come up
yeah.
later.
Yeah, it's gonna
Right
be
now-
interesting on next missions.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
but-
you'll see. Still a
yeah.
game.
Later on. Right now, though, I'm using what I need most right now is the stock rifle that has a stun grenade launcher that I attach to it, which is something that you can do in the game no matter what. We're flying right into the middle of a base, so there's going to be a lot of gunfire, a lot of guys running around trying to spot us. So we're going to use this stun launcher tied to the front end here, and that should hopefully take care of things.
Yeah, hopefully. And yeah, quick note. I really insist on this. This is a stealth game. Okay, like
This is a stealth game.
this is a stealth game. Really important to know this. All right. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, later on. Right now we just have some normal stealth to do. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
normal.
fire some very loud stun grenades into the base here. Start targeting some guards, taking them out here and there. Okay, that's good. Please don't get back on the AA gun. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, that's probably fine. So this mission, D-Horse being good to us is pretty critical. for the route I'm taking.
I mean, this is the moment he has to be good with us. Like, really, really
Yeah.
good. But I got a
This
good
above,
feeling
like-
about it.
Yeah, above like almost anything else, this is like one of the most crucial D-Horse moments in this run.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll see how this goes. If you've played this game for a long time, you might recognize what I'm doing, and if you know speedruns and glitches, you probably recognize that as well. So on the old patch, there are wall clips you can do using D-Horse, and 99% of them are useless. But there's this one here, and then there's one in a different mission that's useful on New Game. You don't see that wall clip on New Game though, because Snake's run speed on a New Game file is just too slow. So other options are kind of superior, at least for any percent. Do you do that on a?
On
Would
any
they do
percent,
that on Perfect Stealth? You think?
Perfect Stealth, yeah, you do it. Well, on the
You do it?
unpatched version, on the patch, sadly,
Right.
you can't do it anymore. Because,
Oh my gosh, the skulls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
behave.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so the skulls spawn where my camera is facing, so I have to move the camera very quickly to get them into a spot away from the enemy soldiers so I can actually take them out without accidentally killing someone. And then we just stealth game them really quick.
You took down the skulls. Boss, you really are a living legend.
Indeed, we are living
Bring the honeybee
legend.
back to base.
No, I didn't hit buffer.
Ah,
There's a little thing you can do called cigar buffering. If you go to use an item and then kind of interrupt it by aiming a weapon like that, you'll see in the bottom left the cigar is now equipped. So that makes it on the first frame where you're able to use the cigar, Snake will pull it out and use it. So it's useful for when there's text going by to very quickly equip it and use it. There's going to be a different form of cigar buffering later on in the run. That's
Please select a mission.
going to be very interesting. So for now, we're going into occupation forces. I guess this is kind of a good time to talk a bit about this category. And oh, hang on, I gotta clean the jacket. Very important. There's some blood on there.
Yeah,
Can't
of
have
course.
that. Can't have
course.
that. Ugh.
Come on.
Terrible. Whose
yeah.
blood is that? Mine? No
I
way.
don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so for this category, let's see. So we're doing the main missions. So that means for the most part, we're gonna be doing like every real mission in the game, but we're not doing like the Truth, Shining Lights. We're not doing Diamond Dogs, stuff like that. But for missions that have like a harder variant, like Extreme or Total Stealth, we're gonna do those harder variants just to make a more interesting show. Oh, thank you, Pequod, for taking that out. So on this mission, I've got to hopefully Fulton this guy. Okay, cool. Sometimes Pequod will just murder that man while he's asleep, so I'm glad I got to actually Fulton him. And then this tank here, Pequod tends to ignore, so we'll Fulton it. Cool. Easy peasy. Sometimes it's not that easy. Oh, hi, D-Horse.
Oh.
Hey, buddy.
Wow.
Wait, what? Where did D-Horse come from?
Don't
know.
worry
He's-
about it. Stealth Horse.
Forget about it. Yeah.
Diamond Dog's technology is a sight to behold.
Yeah, you can't understand. Yeah. This is big boss stuff.
See you, D-Horse.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay. Taking the helicopter out on this one is faster because the hot zone is way out here and I'd have to pass another base either way. So somehow, some way, P-Quad is actually a faster option, which isn't very typical for speedrunning. So I'm doing the harder versions of all the missions, except for the subsistence missions, just because most of those are just running for a very long time and then doing one thing. And then for the harder variants, I think it'll just make things more interesting. So, speaking of harder variants, we're going into one of the fans' most favorites, bestest missions. If I can find it, where is it? I can't read.
Back down 34.
Yes, 34. The one I had highlighted, you mean?
Yeah, exactly the one, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Hey, so Diamond Dog's technology, do you want me to cover it or should you?
You can do it actually.
Yeah, I can cover it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean,
so there's this cool glitch on the old version of the game. CAD,
what?
I didn't want to chopper skip on this one.
Oh,
I forgot. But
oh no, cringe. That's embarrassing.
it's fine.
Nah,
It's fine. It's just one loading screen.
Accepted.
What could go wrong? 2 loading screens.
Two loading
ASAP.
screens.
Let's go. Hey, should still be night. It's fine.
Yeah.
So Diamond Dog's technology is a sight to behold, like I said. So on this version of the game, on the old patch, only on the PC version, there's a glitch called the weapon glitch. And what you do is you select a weapon like a rifle, and you go and you, in the weapon customization menu, you go and you highlight its magazine, its rifle ammo, and then you go and select a weapon that you might not be allowed to change, like, I don't know, like a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Because rocket launchers, you're not allowed to change out their ammo, they only fire rockets. But instead of using your controller to select it, you suddenly mouse click into an empty slot, and the game lets you equip whatever you previously selected. So like if I go and select a rifle on one menu, and then with my mouse select a rocket launcher, I could just slap rifle ammo right into a rocket launcher. You might be thinking, wow, that's weird and different. And it is. So there's like a tank over there, right? So I could just kind of, fire at it a few times, and there goes that tank. That's weird.
What?
And then, well, I want to use the cigar right away, but I'm going to show you, if I had to reload this thing for some reason, here's my reload animation. That's healthy.
I don't know if arms do that.
Well, Snakes does.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Snake's arm doesn't do that. You just saw it.
That's true.
We
Yeah,
all
that's very
saw
true.
that. Hey, perfect stealth.
Perfect stealth.
Stealth game.
Yeah, no kills. Yeah.
No kills.
Yeah.
Okay, so weapon glitch. Gosh, it's really tough to like really cover, but you're basically taking the damage and damage type of one weapon and then applying the way that weapon works to another. So like if I had a grenade launcher, I could set this rocket launcher to fire grenades that do rocket launcher damage, which is weird. Okay, also weird is something else I'm setting up right now. Let's see, I want 32. Yes, okay. We'll go into slow mode here, don't mind me.
The map has been updated.
Cad, where am I?
I think this is not the good start.
This is not the good start.
This is not the
I'm
good
just slowing
start.
down for no reason.
Please select a
No,
mission.
it's right here though.
Mission accepted. The map has been updated.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Please
This is not quite the same spot.
Accept.
But
The map has been
Yeah.
updated.
One sec.
I
Technical difficulties.
I just want to say that the weapon you have, it looks horrible, but so cool at the same time. This is a real feeling I have.
I need an easy way to differentiate things, and you'll understand why later. I have to make it ugly so I know when I have it. Oh, so when you start a mission, normally there's a box here. So if there's no box, you know what we did worked. So we selected mission 10, and then while in slow-mo, we selected mission 32. And suddenly, we're right back where we were when we ended the last mission, which is right by the target for this mission. Because typically for this mission, you start way over here, and now we're up here for some reason. That's kind of weird.
This is what
Also,
it is.
I did have a question. Were you in control during that cutscene, or was that just?
You can move the camera.
You can zoom in,
Yeah.
move the camera.
Yeah, you can
I
move the
think-
camera around.
I think you can do it since Metal Gear Solid 2, I think, or 3.
I
don't
think
remember.
2.
Yeah, I think 2 too. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could in Twin Snakes at least.
Oh, twins. No,
Pretty
honestly,
sure, and that uses the same engine.
The map has been updated.
I never had a GameCube, so sadly I never played Twin Snakes. But
I don't know. There's someone more knowledgeable than me in chat. I'm sure there's at least one
Extraction arrived
other
at the
speedrunner
database.
in here that speedruns the Metal Gear games and is like, yeah.
of course,
Anyways, that was No Traces, which is incredibly difficult to get. To get No Traces, you have to basically use no equipment except the Fulton. You can hold up
Please
guards
select a
and use like a couple other little things, but you can't like fire a gun, you can't trank anyone, you can't CQC. And we just got that for showing up. It was our participation prize.
okay. So
Alright,
right
let's-
now, Angel with broken wings. Okay, so this mission, you will have to rescue a dude in a jeep in a outpost, and well, the approach is gonna be
Right,
pretty.
of course.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Once again, D-Horse. Yeah, praise for D-Horse, please, because if it doesn't want to behave, it's gonna be complicated. But so far, I mean, he behaved pretty well. So
Well,
it should be alright.
this is the perfect time, though.
This is, yeah, but nah, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah?
good. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got a good feeling
Yeah?
about it. Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
I talked too fast. Okay.
Ooh, that's not a good weapon. That is not the good.
Okay, so it seems, I'm not sure, but it seems I jinxed it, which is totally fine.
So we're doing a technique called dolphin diving. If you've ever played any online version of this game, whether MGO3 or FOB missions, you've probably seen people doing that a lot. It's a very common movement technique in
Yeah,
those
it allows you
multiplayer
to keep
variants of
very
the game.
low. And you can keep very low, move pretty fast actually with the broken mouse. So this is really useful.
Yeah, if you do it right, it's a very good movement technique.
Yeah.
If you do it kind of like I was, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, but forget about it. Look, everything.
No, my jacket!
Oh no.
It's fine.
You have to clean
It's just
this up.
strawberry jam. That's someone else was saying in
Yes.
chat earlier.
Oh yeah, probably. That's a good, yeah.
Yeah, they just shot the ration Big Boss had on his jacket, that's all. And in the end, the strawberry jab, so that's okay. And surprise.
Snake gets hungry every now and then.
Oh, of course it is.
Perfect
Yay, Foxhound.
Hey,
Wonderful.
what a stealth game.
Yeah, this is really tough. Yeah, thanks to
Alright,
Pequod.
next. Yeah, Pequod, like, Pequod causes some randomness, but, like, if you've done this enough, you kind of know how guards will behave around Pequod and where they will tend to go for missions. So it's not like impossible to like plan around these things. Don't mind me. Okay,
Oh, no worries.
daytime.
Okay, so this is Total Stealth over Defense. So Total Stealth is the harder version of the main mission over Defense. Well, since it's a PSNK run, it's not gonna be a problem. But if you do this mission casually, actually, if you get spotted, it's game over. You have to do the mission again. Well, you can.
Yeah.
I think you can go on the checkpoint. I think if you get spotted.
It'll let you checkpoint, but you're as for like a casual player, this is like one. If you played through like the base game, Chapter 1, and you had like a mix of like stealth and louder versions of stealth, you may have like found some challenge in the total stealth missions. They'll add challenge for most players anyways because they take out reflex, and for those who need the Luigi mode, it also removes the chicken hats. So there's also the revenge system is maxed out, so enemies will have like body armor, even whereas they didn't before. Whew, easy peasy.
Ooh, okay, so that was
They'll have
really close,
snipers,
actually.
shotguns. No, it's fine.
Yeah,
That's
forget
normal.
about it.
Don't mind that.
Okay, so you can see this guy. Okay, so this is really important to shoot at the top of the door because actually the bullets on this weapon can pass through the walls, and so if you shoot down the door, you can accidentally kill the guy you need to rescue. So which we don't want to happen.
Yeah. I learned the hard way. If you aim too low, you will just take that man's entire existence out. It is bad.
So are the doors made not the best, or are the weapons or the bullets a lot?
Some doors aren't made as well as other doors. Yeah. I need extraordinary 38. So I keep having to look over and figure out what mission I'm doing because I may have changed the routing a little bit recently, like say over the weekend.
Yeah.
It's so hey, like this is gonna come up at some point probably, but I haven't actually done any speed running at all in about a year.
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
And then this event was like they were asking for TPP, and I was like, yeah, I can do that.
Of course. Okay, so the extraordinary
that's
mission. This is, I don't want to say RNG heavy, but there is some RNG in it because you have to secure a. No, it's not a cassette tape. I think it is like a film canister or something.
It's a film canister, yeah.
Yeah, and so the spot where the film canister is random. You actually have to check out on your iDroid the photograph of position where the film canister is.
Yeah.
And
So-
yeah, got spotted. That's
I
unfortunate.
try to make D-Horse stop, but I didn't stop fast enough, so that's on me. That's not D-Horse, that was me.
Yeah.
So there's 3 locations for the film canister, and some are easier than others. Like the one we got is the closest one, so it should be the best, but honestly I find it to be the biggest pain. It feels like harder to get back here.
Well, because there's a lot
Then-
of guards around it, so. And I
Stop
remember,
looking this way.
I remember this is a mission. I remember casually. It was kind of hard because it was like the real first mission where the guards were like freaking Terminators. Like they will spot you like from a big distance. This is a thing
Yeah.
I had.
it's the space you're left to work with here is a bit claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And the guards have pretty good sight lines, and guards keep coming. there's just a steady stream of
Oh
guards.
yeah,
so,
right. Yeah. Yeah. There's a jeep coming
So
up, and
yeah.
you don't want that to happen.
so it can be a pretty tough mission. Your
One
first,
stop dismissed.
time.
Wow, boss, this is
Wow.
not good. Oh.
Wow.
Oh yeah. That's why you're the man in charge, the one and only.
Yeah, the one and only.
The one and only.
Next we have the Skullface mission, and
Accepted.
I think I did want night for this, but it should be okay. There is a very worrying part of this mission that I think I might just go ahead and use the cigar to get tonight just to be safe. So I'm gonna just spoil it. We're gonna use the Jeep again with the smoke grenade and just ease our way through this. The problem is, since your whole stealth is based around the smoke grenade, one of the Kojima Productions details they put in is if a smoke grenade is like too close to a helicopter, the smoke gets blown out. And there's an enemy helicopter in this mission, and if that chopper gets too close to us, it blows our smoke away and makes us visible to all the guards.
And I think, yeah, the chopper and plus the chopper is like quite at the end of the base, like at the completely, yeah, completely like the chopper is at the end of the mission, like really, because this is a pretty huge base outpost, whatever you call it. And well, this is actually in the big driving. We like
Yeah,
that.
it's a little more slippery than I remember.
yeah, this is Afghanistan. You can't understand. Did you ever drive in Afghanistan? No, you can't understand that. I mean, this is like that.
I think a tire got knocked out on
Really?
landing.
Why?
Maybe that back tire. I don't
There's
think it wants
nobody,
to
like,
cooperate.
literally. What?
It's not moving.
I don't know. It looks fine on my end, but
Oh, okay. It must be just my eyes then.
I don't know. Let me check real quick.
curious.
But
How curious.
I don't know. That's so fingers
Huey's
crossed.
our
I
ally,
suppose.
but nope. There's something.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, well this is gonna be a challenge. Actually,
So that's a little unusual.
yeah.
It's fine. It's
Yeah, no
fine.
joke.
It's a stealth game. Driving's optional.
There you go. Yeah.
So everything's going well so far.
Yeah, so far so
There's the helicopter I'm worried about. So I'm gonna try to slow down right here.
I was scared about that.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, thankfully
Okay.
the checkpoint isn't that far, so
Yes, but this is the scary part because I'm surrounded by guards, and at night they don't see me.
and you have to put a smoke back in the.
See, yeah.
Oh, no.
I think I did 100% need night for this one. Oh.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
give me a
be-
sec. Give me a sec.
Okay,
me
you
a
can
sec.
do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Make contact with Skullface. Head for the silo at the facility's northernmost point.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Okay.
Oh my god, big brain. Oh my god. I just want to
Nice.
say this guy is goddamn world record. He knows what he does. Monster, a monster, a monster. Okay, so from now on, it shouldn't be a problem because there is no guards
it's-
anymore. So
Now
pretty
it's
free
fine.
now.
I just got a belly flop up these stairs.
Yeah.
I appreciate the belly flop that just brings him up.
It's faster than running. I'm speed running, okay? I'm doing
I'm
my
still
best.
running.
So some more stairs. Don't mind it.
Oof.
All right, there's
Yeah,
just a few
that
cutscenes
hurts.
here I gotta skip through, and then we're done with this mission. Hey, Skullface. Bye, Skullface.
Bye bye, Skullface. Okay, so so we've done now with the Afghanistan mission, except for 2, which we'll do at the end. Now we're gonna go
Yeah.
in Africa.
Yeah. Where the rain is. Like the free lobby that I was worried about. So,
Well, this is
Yeah.
next. Well, not next. Like, no, we're gonna do lingua franca.
oh,
Several high-level British.
there's a lot of.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, I think
And
the stream
yeah, we're gonna
died.
do Risk of the Intellect
Keep
and after
going.
that, so it's gonna be. Ooh, it's gonna be interesting.
I'm trying to confirm that.
Go.
Go, go,
I
go.
can hear you. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're going. Hi everyone.
Hello back. Hello there.
Hi,
Remember
welcome
us?
back to
Yeah.
this mess.
This one, no, it's not a mess. I don't know.
No, not yet.
Not,
Okay, so this mission for this speed run, just for speed running in general, is kind of a non-mission. It's just a point A to point B sort of situation. There's one guard here. We're gonna give him a little zappy zap. And then our rescue target is right here. We're gonna grab this guy. And then off we go. All right, good
Zoom.
mission.
yeah.
If you've played this game and you've tried going for, well, really, if you've just played this mission, regardless of if you went for all mission tasks or not, you probably had a lot of trouble with this one. And
Yeah,
that's
I
because
think,
of,
yeah, this is the one when you have to listen to a lot of conversation to know where is the target. I think
Yeah.
there's tasks you have to rescue other people. Yeah, so this is a
Yeah.
pretty stuffy stuff mission. I mean, there's a lot of things to do, and yeah. But as you see, we already know where the guy is, so just went like
Yeah.
in a heartbeat, so no problem with that.
flawless work.
Flawless work. Perfect still.
It comes down to like how the checkpoint system is structured, because you only get, outside of very specific situations, you only get checkpoints when you get far enough from a base
Select a mission.
or a camp. And that mission is based entirely inside of a camp, so you pretty much get no checkpoints, which makes it very difficult.
And pretty risky too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of risky. But
Mhm.
so far so good. So so we'll see how this one goes. Should be alright.
We'll see.
It should. hopefully.
This mission is this one is kind of stressful. Whether, like, even on like new game 80%, this mission can be kind of stressful just because of a few different moments here and there. So the strategy that I'm going with is I'm going to go through this bit of jungle to the first target. There's a guard straight ahead, and I'm going to use this tree to give me as much cover as possible. I'm going to give him a zap. I bonked there. I didn't want that. We're going to call in Pequod at the other camp.
Before their search team can find him. Check his location on your iPod.
Okay.
So this is the first target. So you might say something like, oh, okay, well, it should be alright. But the next one is like a middle of a big, large outpost. And yeah, it's kind of get interesting starting from there. What's up,
Yeah,
dude?
this camp is a bit tough. We're just gonna throw out as many zappy zaps as we can, or robo CQC, I guess.
Still game, huh?
Yep, stealth game. There's one
Stealth,
guard
yeah,
up there
yeah.
I've got to get rid of. Two shots is good enough, but 3 will knock him out just that moment sooner. And then we're going to dismiss the helicopter. If you've seen me do this run before, or this IL, you know I would normally leave on one of the cargo containers, and up until a couple days ago, that's what I was doing. But all of my routing from a year plus ago for this this category was based around doing all missions, which is around like a 3-hour run. And from doing just the main ops, we cut out about an hour of time, but we lose some of those duplicate missions, like the regular version of a mission and then the total stealth version, for example. And since my routing was based around that, I've had to make a few adjustments to make everything still flow okay. So this is one of them, where instead of leaving on that cargo container at that base, I'm leaving this way instead, so I can go straight to proxy war without end, which is just over this hill here. If I were to do this mission pretty much any other way, it takes a long time to get set up because of the strategy I'm using. Really key thing to point out is I'm not doing S rank for every mission, as I'm sure you've noticed by now. So we're going to use a very non-S rank friendly strategy to complete this. So we're gonna immediately smoke the cigar to interrupt Miller, and then we can go ahead and fast forward time a little bit here. Drop a bombardment right there.
And you have to be
Gonna
careful
lay down now.
with the bombardment because you can.
Please select a strike.
Oh, I don't want to jinx it, but you can accidentally kill someone in the process, but it's not gonna happen. I'm sure about it.
Please select.
Well, I
a
sure
strike
hope so.
point.
I wasn't gonna acknowledge it. I was gonna wait till it was done, but I mean, if you want to throw that out there now.
Yeah, but I mean, we never know. You know, this game sometimes
Please
can be
select a
tricky.
strike
So
point.
All right, well, that's mission complete. We'll see. Good mission.
fingers crossed.
Fingers
The map has
crossed.
been updated.
I think the target was destroyed, but I'm not sure.
I think so.
Wow.
May have hit too many targets.
3 step dismissed. Wow. Really? So we
well.
accidentally killed someone on this mission. So I jinxed it.
blaming
So
you.
this is
I'm blaming you.
Yeah. I know.
Show keeps going. We're not gonna. Well, I am gonna use this mission start point, but we're not redoing the mission. Unfortunately, we'll just have that tarnish here, I guess. So proxy war without end was 41, and then I'm going into a different mission. We're going into 26, hunting down. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So that mission like takes forever to use anything except the bombardments. And the problem, as you saw, is bombardments will sometimes kill soldiers. I did all the bombardment placement a specific way to try to avoid that, because it's I found it's pretty dang consistent doing it that in that order. But Cad had to open up his mouth, I guess, and drink
That's my fault. I know.
So,
But you know,
yeah,
I just know
it's
it can
fine.
happen, sadly. So yeah.
Hey,
But this is a
wait,
really
look,
hard category. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
Like it seems like when you see Stag running, it seems like flawless, and and easy in a way, but it's a really hard category. I mean, doing perfect stealth in speedrun in general in Metal Gear Solid 5 and also Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero, which is another game. This is really hard to pull this off. So yeah, so sadly, what you saw can happen, but this is a really complicated category. So
Yeah.
no
There,
worries.
you, that mission is a bit of a run killer with that strategy, just because it can just randomly get rid of your stealth ranking like you saw, but that's just how it goes. There's one mission at the end of the run that's worse, which is why we saved it for the end. So
Because it's more interesting. I think you didn't have the Fox sound.
I won't get it back. The numbers showed up. If you replay the clip, yeah, I did get perfect stealth. It was
Okay.
there on the right
No,
side.
no worries.
So the way the emblem works is
Please select a mission.
it's based on your last 3 missions, not the last mission you did. So if you ever see like if you ever watch videos, or you did back in the day where people were like, yeah, S rank, perfect stealth, Foxhound video. Wow, the Foxhound is not from that mission. You get Foxhound based off of your last 3 missions in total. So you can like grind a really easy mission for the Foxhound rank and then just do something else to keep it. So we probably won't have it back after this, but we should after the next mission. So this mission, Traitor's Caravan, especially the extreme version, this is another one that for casual play is a nightmare because of the checkpoint system. And for the extreme version, it's even worse because of the equipment guards have, the defense and health of the Skulls unit. It's a pretty tough mission casually. And the all tasks for it is one of the longest ones in the game because you have to listen to a lot of conversations. But for the speedrun, this is one of the easiest missions that we have. So we got that going for us at least.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty quick one. You'll see. It's gonna go really fast.
Yeah, getting to the mission is the longest part of the mission.
Yeah. So
we're
you get
gonna-
here. I triggered a little cutscene. Oh no, the skulls. Oh no.
The Skulls, who could have predicted this?
Oh no, so I have to float on this truck. Oh no.
Oh no, machetes. Gee, golly. All right, we're just gonna keep running over here.
But how you gonna do to escape them? Oh wow,
I don't
big
know.
brain.
It seems
Wow.
impossible to get out of here.
Oh my god,
boss,
big
wow,
brain.
lateral thinking.
Oh.
All right, no traces.
No traces, wonderful. Yeah, no traces.
Wonderful. really hard mission for speed runs.
Oh yeah, that was tough.
right.
My god.
Please select a mission.
Okay, so we did a bunch of missions in a row there. Now we're gonna do another big string of missions in a row. So we're gonna start off on Traitor's Caravan. Or no, that's what we just did. We were doing
Footprints of
Footprints of
Phantom.
Phantoms. Yes.
The total
And
stealth
I
version.
need my handy dandy rifle missile launcher.
Rifle rocket
And-
launcher, the famous one, of
Yeah.
course. I mean,
My famous one.
common knowledge. I mean,
The rifle rocket.
Yeah. Just that standard issue Diamond Dogs technology.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
hand these out, There's a surplus. We gotta use up the parts. Okay. So anytime we do chopper skip, we've got to do a checkpoint because our buddy is at the start of the mission being supply dropped in. So it takes a while for them to actually be usable. So to speed up the process, we do a checkpoint and that clears up the supply drop right away.
You can also use a Phantom cigar for it, but because of the animation of the cigar, it's longer, so it's quicker to do a checkpoint.
Yeah. There's a brief section during new game runs where we will use the cigar at the start of the game. but that's because we're doing some timer-based RNG manipulation for later in the run. But for here, it's checkpoints all the way. So since I'm using rifle ammo on this rocket launcher, there is bullet drop on my missile launcher. So I've got to aim up a bit in order to hit these targets. Snake's got to reload. Okay, there we go.
Target eliminated.
And then
Once
over
we go.
here. Great,
Crazy.
perfect, amazing, boss.
Amazing. That's why you're the man in charge. The one and only.
Okay, so we destroyed the 4 targets very stealthily. You may have noticed, but my missile launcher has a suppressor on it, so the guards really don't know what happened there. The suppressor.
Welcome back. We apologize for all the technical issues, but again, you are actually watching The Bargain Bin, show about speed running games all under $20. I'm your host, Midnight Vesper, and with me is Steg and Lacad. We are going to continue our beautiful speed run of Metal Gear Solid 5. You are welcome to take it away, Steg.
Hey, hello. I guess we'll get things started again. Get the timer back going in 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, nice punch. Good countdown. All right, what are we doing? E19. Hey, right back into it.
Mission
Okay,
accepted.
so
Map has been
if you were here
accepted.
before things went a bit haywire, you remember we were ending close to where we were going to start another mission, so we're right here. This mission is another one of the kind of non-mission sort of things. So your goal, casually, there's a target you have to follow and kind of stay on his trail, hence the title of this mission. But you'll meet up with your real target later on, and you'll kind of crash their meeting and do whatever you want to the target to complete the mission. For us, since we've already played this game before, we know where the target is. So I'm just taking a kind of a long way around here just to avoid the circling helicopter up above. And we're going to kind of crash the meeting before it even happens. So there's this nice little vantage point right here. I'm gonna drive right up to it. I'm gonna just dive over. We're gonna equip the stun grenades. Boop. Boop.
Boom.
There we go. We're gonna call D-Walker over. There's our target. Goodbye. Where's D-Walker? There you are. Hey, buddy. Let's get out of here. All right. This way. And from here, we're right next to the next mission we're gonna do. So it all ties together quite nicely.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Amazing.
Perfect stealth. So you guys didn't hear it, but on my end, I don't remember what the pause button is for my live splits. So that was a 20-minute mission just now.
Which is a casual
Okay.
playthrough at this point, so yeah.
Casual playthrough. Welcome to my Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid 5, everyone.
Walkthrough, yeah, my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 5
My-
campaign. Like it?
We're gonna, yeah. I hope you like it.
Of course I do.
All right. Oh, shucks.
Ah,
All right. This next mission is for us in this run. This is the first mission where we're dealing with child soldiers, which is, someone like they're kids. We don't want to actually hurt them, but we do have to extract one of them. So we're going to very carefully deal with these soldiers without inflicting any harm or being rough to them in any way.
actually, you can't harm them. I mean, you can't kill them casually. I mean, I'm talking like when you do the game casually. Miller said that you can't. Oh.
Hey, I know what happened.
What happened?
Hey, you want to know what happened?
Because it's night and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be night.
Yeah, I might as well
I knew.
just abort the whole thing. Like you do new game during nights, so I already know where they're positioned, but I'd rather just get it this way. I think it'll be a little more, a little better. Okay, there we go. All right, for reals this time. All right. This mission is the first mission where we deal with child soldiers. Are going to be nice to them. Yada yada.
Yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah. So
That's
I was
the wrong
saying
mission.
when you. Oh no, come on, please stay. You got this.
Do we?
Yeah, aim for, yeah. This is a good
Okay.
mission. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Hey, if you say so. Hey.
Hey. Yeah. So I was saying when you do the game casually, Miller is gonna say to you that you cannot kill the child because, well, it's not good, of course. But you will see that we are going to, well, poke them a little bit.
No, we're going to be nice.
Yeah, not get gentle with them.
Careful and gentle.
I mean, this is kids, so you know.
Yeah, children are precious cargo,
Of course.
and I wouldn't do anything to harm a child. You know. Big Boss might be a big fan of child soldiers, but that means he wants his kids in one piece, you know? Okay, easy peasy. There we go.
He's still alive.
Nice
Don't
and
worry
gentle.
about that.
Totally full on.
This
Yep.
kid is gonna do that. There we go. There we go. Yep. Easy
That
on
was
the child
yeah,
soldiers.
easy. Yeah, easy question mark. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, that was pretty close.
No, that was fine. Like normally that guy, that kid walks to like investigate what happened to the other one. So I'm a little surprised he tried to spot us, but you know what? Worked out just fine.
Yeah, I mean,
no
you got it.
worries.
Yeah. And these kids are totally fine. No worries about that. Even if I think if I take like a hit like that, like the sport I took, I would be 100% dead. But these are like heavy kids, so
Yeah,
okay.
they're
And
very
perfect
strong.
stealth, no
Yeah.
kills. Yay.
Hey, no kills.
Still game, remember.
I don't know if some of those kids are waking up, but it's no kills.
Yeah, I think they're like in a coma for a long time now, but I mean, it's alright.
It happened.
It happens.
Nice. So with our routing, we have another mission right here, but we're leaving D-Walker behind for just a moment. So we need to do...
So this is voices machine.
doing... Yes. Ooh, barely got that.
Immersion.
The map has been updated.
Okay. So we did our fancy start missions anywhere glitch. And this is going to start us right where we ended that last mission. So if we just very quickly take a quick glance at the map here, you see normally we would start down here. We've cut out a lot of our travel time. The one downside is since we're starting out of bounds, the iDroid has to tell us how much out of bounds we are in. And it will not stop telling us how much out of bounds we are in until we get back into bounds. So if you do that glitch, you're free to explore the out of bounds area of the game until you go back into it, but you have to listen to the iDroid while doing so. So yeah, they definitely found a way to punish you for doing that. So voices, this part right here, you know, is pretty boring because we're just driving from one place to another. But we're gonna go down into a valley that's gonna have a bunch of soldiers, and the first segment of it is gonna be kind of tough. We're gonna use D-Walker, but the way the soldiers are lined up, if I make a mistake, I'll have to use a checkpoint because I'll get spotted pretty easily with their setup. So these two guards right here should be pretty easy. There's that. And then, hi there, bye there. I'm gonna back up a little bit. D-Walker, calm down, buddy.
He's alright, he's alright.
All right, there we go. Hey. Okay. Gonna
So
equip the night
now
vision
this is the fun
goggles.
part.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got 3 soldiers, hopefully only 3. One of them should be, oh, he's there. Now he's going to target practice. So there's you, CQC. There we go. I don't want that missile launcher. That would be bad. Okay.
Yeah, not very perfect stealth, no kills, but I mean,
Yeah, that's not very perfect
yeah,
stealth
no,
of you,
that's
buddy.
There's a cliff blocking the way to the objective.
All right.
I mean,
So you
yeah, I forgot
notice
to
I
mention,
just-
I love that sound effect when you do that.
Oh, it's a
punch.
good sound.
Yeah, man, this is insanely good.
The $1 million man punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll notice I got a code name because I cleared that base camp. So whenever you clear bases, you'll get a code name for it as a little bonus the first time you do it. So this save file I'm playing on is one that was provided to us by an old member of the community, Strafe Machine, and he set up the save for us and like got all of the freeloading. He got all of the resources in the game and maxed them out, but he didn't 100% the game. So this is a 70% save file, but we have everything maxed and built. So we have little moments like that here and there where it's like, hey, here's this for the first time.
By the way, did you see that guy we shot earlier, a little bit earlier?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't shoot him, there's a cutscene, which you lose a lot of time, and we just kill him, and for some reason it doesn't count as a kill, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's because it's a mercy kill. It's very peaceful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And so
I mean, the
now...
cutscene would kill
Just
him
sleeping.
anyways.
You're sleeping,
Yeah.
of course.
Sleeping.
Okay, so the man on
Sleeping.
fire. So we're gonna make spawn the man on fire just in front of this, of the water right there, and bye-bye.
Goodbye. Easy peasy. What a boss fight.
What a-
What a thrill.
Yeah, big fight.
All right. Good fight. So the man on fire, when he first spawns, he has some iframes. So what I use as a visual cue for when I'm good to hit him is for him to start raising his arm. But at that point, we manipulate his spawn by being close to the pool. He spawns right in front of it, so we just run him over with D-Walker. It knocks him in, and we're able to escape then.
So I did have one quick question, and this is something that I've always wondered when I have kind of like shooters, when you have to go into first person for the shooter. How hard or easy was it to learn how to basically pinpoint exactly where to shoot on like that exact pixel?
I don't know.
Please select
Cad,
a
what
mission.
would you say for that? 'Cause for me,
I-
like I've been playing these things for a while, so I don't even think about it, I think.
Yeah, well, me neither, but I think the first person view can be tricky sometimes because of the weapon sway.
That's
Spe-
true.
Especially if you don't have the pentazemin, which is an item you can use for like I don't know how to explain, like
Enemy control.
you will be more stable while aiming in first person with the pentazemin. So it can be tricky in first person because because of the weapon sway. Plus there's the famous bullet drop to consider for some weapons at least. But it's not that much. No, it's not very hard. It can be tricky for like a really long shot, like with the sniper rifle, because there's the bullet drop with distance, and you don't see really well because like sometimes you're like in the really far away from the target. But it's not that hard actually. I mean, at least in this game, in Phantom Pain, it's okay because there's another game, another Metal Gear Solid 5 called Ground Zero, which is horrible for that, but I won't talk about it today because because otherwise I will have
So-
PTSD from this game. But anyway,
Yeah. Ground Zeroes as a speed run is about 30 to 40 minutes long, and it's all the missions. And I think people really sleep on how difficult of a run that game is. When you see a good runner like One Cool Man or Joseph Joestar go through that game and demolish it, you might forget the amount of nonsense that title throws at you. It is a vicious speed run.
It's a really, really brutal game. When you watch those runners, yeah, you might think it looks easy, but yeah, maybe try one of these days, at least the stealth no kills category for Ground Zero, and you will see how much of a pain it is. Well, this one can be a pain too, but
Updated.
I mean, different games, it's not handled the same way, so can't really compare the two games, but
Arrived at Mother
yeah.
Base.
Yeah, Ground
Yeah.
Zero Stealth No Kills is a really
Enemy
brutal game to
presence
speedrun,
detected.
at least for
The
Stealth No
map
Kills.
has been updated.
Yeah.
And perfect stealth,
I mean-
wonderful.
Oh, wonderful. I did a mission?
Was it a mission? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. No.
Wow.
I could make that joke with something like lingua franca, but
Please
close
select a
contact
mission.
for new game, I'm not allowed to joke about that mission because it's one of my personal big run killers. So I make that joke at my own expense next time I go back to new game. I know. So for the next mission, I probably should have chose night actually, but we could still do day just fine. Night is a little faster because you have just a better guard layout. It's about the same amount of guards, but they're spread out, easier to deal with. But they'll be okay. Pitch Dark, if you've ever seen the new game run, like Metza's world record for this game, for example, there's a glitch called the Pitch Dark Warp, where you'll drive a Jeep or use D-Horse up to a certain point, and for whatever reason, the game just bugs out and teleports you all the way to the pump on the other side of the map, which is one of your targets. For New Game Plus, it might be around the same speed. It might be a little slower, hard to say, but we don't fully understand 100% how that glitch works and why it happens. We have like some ideas, but it's still kind of a mystery. We know it can be done on New Game Plus, but we don't know how consistent it would be in New Game Plus, so I'm just gonna use kind of an IL strategy and, you know, a slower, marathon safe IL strategy, and that should be around the same speed. First, we've got to get to the fast travel point in this mission, so we're gonna climb over all this stuff and then go down this hill.
Oh, by the way, that was a unskippable chopper ride because it started the cutscene.
Yeah.
So you sadly can't chopper skip on this one.
So I know this guard's right here, but I just wanted to make sure he was right where I needed him. So I popped a handful of something or other so I could see through walls. Now we're gonna fast travel all the way to the oil field. Now, you've definitely seen this weapon I've been using throughout the run, but I guess now's a good time to talk about this glitch weapon. So this is a special grenade launcher. If you've played through this game before, you probably remember like one of the late game things you can create is the Fakel sleep grenade launcher. And that's what we have equipped, but you notice I'm not actually firing any sleep grenades, and that's because of the weapon glitch we mentioned earlier. So what I've done is I've modified it so that instead of firing grenades, it instead fires tranquilizer rounds. So it still does the full sleep grenade amount of sleep damage to a target, so it knocks them out instantly. Even if they have body armor or riot suit, it'll still one-shot them on any part of their body.
And even if you shoot them in the foot, something like that, yeah, it will work. It will one-shot them, basically.
Yeah, and as far as the game is concerned, it thinks it's a tranquilizer, so guards will investigate it like they would a trank if it were to hit a wall or something. So it's a very handy tool to have for this run. It's kind of like a if you're playing on current patch and like know the late game weapons, it's kind of like the Woo SB pistol plus the Riot pistol combined into one better gun. All right.
And mission done.
So-
That one was yeah, that one was pretty fast actually.
Yeah, that went pretty well.
Yeah.
So now we've got Extreme Code Talker. So Code Talker. Let's see. Let's try Day. Let's give Day a shot. I did No Traces at some point.
Are you sure about that? Because
Yeah, we're not
okay.
doing No Traces because No Traces has some. So I'm gonna use a bombardment to distract the skulls, but you can get past them without using something like that. So I had to learn that for No Traces. What I also learned is that the route for it really sucks because D-Walker doesn't love to turn as nicely as you would like every time. So sometimes during a tight turn, you might just slip off a cliff. So instead of having to rely on D-Walker being reliable, we're just going to use this extremely reliable method. Drop a bombardment up here. And then we're going to drive up this path over here. And take this turn. Come up this hill. There's
this
a
is a
skull
pretty-
right above me.
Pretty consistent path actually. I mean this method
Yeah.
is pretty consistent. You can get trolled
we-
by one skulls further on. It can spot you.
Yeah.
And since it's extreme, because it's extreme Cold Talker, if you get shot by the skulls, it's a one shot. You'll die immediately. So
Yeah. So it does make a small difference for us because even though we're doing a stealth run, and it's like, well, if you get shot and spotted, I mean, it's a checkpoint anyways. But it takes a little bit longer to die and get the game over screen, and then use that checkpoint rather than
checkpoint right away once you get spotted.
checkpointing right away from spotted. Yeah.
Okay, so he did a distraction shot to distract one guard that might be able to spot us. Then he's gonna equip a smoke grenade. Okay. Oh, he's going
We're gonna
funky.
gun it.
Okay, okay.
We're gonna gun it.
Ooh,
We're just going in.
Ooh,
Hey.
interesting.
Hey.
Wow.
So No Traces, you can just go past that one guard that's on the side, but I wanted to be safe with it. So right here, you're stuck in like the walking animation while Code Talker is speaking. So it's kind of like a interactive cutscene. But if we use a checkpoint, it assumes that you've seen that cutscene. So now we can run freely instead of having to slow walk through all of this. So it's everyone's favorite character, Code Talker, where you got to rescue him very quickly here. And the skulls are back, so we have to take... Ooh, D-Walker, please, don't be stuck. We have two different paths we can take here. We're going to try to take this one and hopefully not get spotted by the skulls. Okay. Looks good. Yeah,
It should be, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, cool. We're gonna drop off Code Talker here.
Oof.
Off he goes. Thanks, buddy.
Kind of a
Right. Nah, he's
interesting way to, like, you know.
D-Walker knows what's best. D-Walker wouldn't let me, lie to me like that. Look how reliable he is over there. Sturdy and steel.
Whoa!
Oh, off he goes.
So for some
Alright.
reason, the skull over here won't spot you, because
Yeah,
I
a
guess
little weird.
Skullfist technology isn't the best in the world, but
Just use the
whatever.
helicopter. It's like, oh, hi.
Yeah. Unimportant chopper flying by. Okay, what are we doing next? Root cause into blood runs deep. So we're gonna string just 2 missions together this time. Then after that, I don't think we have a lot of if any, missions that are going to string together. So we'll be coming back to the ACC fairly
Please select a
frequently.
mission.
So root cause.
27.
Thank you. I definitely am reading. All right, so we need this sniper rifle is making a comeback, but that's for later.
Deploying.
This mission is gonna rely heavily on D-Walker. We're not actually gonna get off D-Walker at all. So normally this is a mission I wouldn't worry about, but in practice the other day, stuff happened. So if it's jinxed, it's my turn. Cad jinxed us earlier.
I won't say anything this
Now I
time.
have
I'm
to
just
do
going to
it.
watch
No,
it.
no. You had yours. Now it's my turn.
Yeah. But
I
this
need to
time,
make it
nope,
fair.
I won't say anything. Yeah, if it happens, it will be your fault.
No, it's fair now.
Right now, he's our only
Okay, so
cause of the epidemic.
the issue I had the other night is there's some guards on the right here. We don't ever bother with them normally. What we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot these tranquilizers here to distract those guards, and then we're gonna stay way the heck over here. What the heck? All right. So, improvising. The Metal Gear Solid 5 experience is full of improv. Not in the speed run typically, but today, yes. So we're gonna come all the way over here. Now that we've distracted an extra set of guards, give these guys the zappies. Where's our target? Why are you back here? Hurry it up. You're off schedule.
Updated.
And then zoom.
Avoid the explosive barrel.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
important.
Don't go in straight to it, because you
Don't hit that.
will regret it. You don't want
Alrighty.
that to happen.
Alright, so I went ahead and jinxed it this time, so that makes us even now,
Yay.
right?
Yeah.
That's how that
Yeah,
works.
now, yeah. So let's hope it won't happen again now.
Now we'll see.
Wow.
There's still plenty of time for me to open my big mouth.
Yeah. Well, especially one mission, I won't say the name of it, but
Hey, we keep hinting at one particular mission. And we're just slowly jinxing it.
yeah, true. I mean, well, you'll see, this is a really complicated mission. We were talking a lot with Steg about it, because this is...
Extraction arrived. at
I want to say
base.
this is the hardest mission to run. So that's why, if you watch Steg record on this, he does the mission first, because this is a really complicated one.
Yeah.
But we're gonna
not-
do it
it's-
last, because
yeah.
otherwise it's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good ending mission. We might end on it until 6. We'll see. But right now
Please select a
we're going
mission.
into Blood Runs Deep, which is if you've seen the new game run, if you've ever tuned into my or Metza's streams, if you've ever seen anyone speedrun this game in any capacity, you know everyone hates this mission.
Oh, yeah.
This is, in a new game speedrun, this mission is the run killer.
Yeah, the big
For
one. killer.
us,
There's 6 targets.
for us, it should be okay. The only thing is, hey, Cad.
What?
You know how on Sunday we went through a run and I showed you how I was playing all the missions?
Yeah.
So I changed the route on this one last night.
Oh, he's going funky. He's going funky.
So we're
Oh, I see
knocking
why
out-
you're doing this. I think I see why you're doing this. Because you're gonna
What are
Fulton
you doing
right.
here?
Oh. Wow.
Stop it. He's fine.
He's fine. Yeah, stealth no kills, remember.
Stealth no kills. All right. Hold still. No one wants to hold still anymore.
Yeah, the game doesn't want to be here today, it seems.
The map has been
That's the one thing about the my super overpowered trank grenade launcher is
Yeah, thank God
it
you
has a
got
very
it.
slow bullet speed.
Please select a delivery.
But yeah, as you said, in 80% new game run,
Snake
it can be really difficult because there's like a lot of guards here, and yeah, it can win. It can go like pretty bad.
Yeah. So I know where these 3 guards are, but I'm using the Noxocyanin like I always do because I need that guard in the back highlighted because the shadows hide him very well. And in this door, if I had the blast arm, I could punch through that no problem, but we have the silver arm because it's stylish and for no other reason. So now this child, we're gonna extract him. Save that target.
For some reason, you only have to extract this kid. The other ones are just gonna do their lives through the jungle for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game is gonna
others are fine.
consider. Yeah, the others are okay.
Yeah. The game wants you to save all of them, but if you only save one, the game is okay with that and even acknowledges it in cutscenes. So, don't know why that is. It's a little weird and funky. Anyways, speaking of weird and funky, we're setting up a glitch here. There we go. So this is a soldier warp. It's if Snake falls while trying to pick up a soldier that's on their stomach, it puts Snake into a glitch state where he can then interact with certain things and just either go out of bounds, like if I hop through the dumpster, or he'll just go. He'll just go flying, and we're outside of the mission zone, so mission complete. Easy peasy.
Easy
Stealth
peasy.
Sorry,
game.
what?
Stealth game.
It's another weird glitch that's only on the old version of the game. They patched it out, I can only assume because they were worried about people using it in FOB missions, but to my knowledge, it doesn't actually work for FOB missions necessarily. It might, but I haven't actually ever seen evidence of that. But yeah, if you pick up a soldier on their stomach and you fall while doing it, off you go. You're in for a fun time.
Infiltrate the platform.
Okay, so retake the platform now. This is kind of a weird mission, actually, in the game casually. This is the mission that introduced you to the FOBs, as Steg was talking about.
Yeah.
So the FOBs, if you want to, well, talk about it, maybe Steg.
Mission not accepted.
There we go. Well, hold on. I need to do one thing while I'm thinking about it. Very important.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, there we go. So what am I talking about?
The FOBs.
That's what I thought. FOB missions. I'm a weirdo who likes doing FOB missions, but for casual play, this is supposed to be your introduction to FOBs. But it doesn't really work like FOB missions do. And because of how this mission is structured and guard placement, we are in this weird opportunity to just kind of spam the smoke grenade launcher. Ugh, that's a bad spawn.
I just thoroughly enjoy how you climb upstairs.
It's the best. Look how much slower that is. You can't tell me this isn't better.
It's better in so many ways.
All right, for reals this time. I'll go a little slower going up just to be safe. CQC!
Yeah, this is nerd. So
Open fire. Gosh dang it.
I thought I heard just the snake just say push her
welcome
down.
to this mission. This is my first time through this mission. Yeah. Okay, there's this smoke.
okay, this one's the
This
one.
smoke. This is the one. Normally,
No.
get dunked, nerd. Out of here.
Educate
Okay,
yourself.
so I'm going to do a little extra smoke grenades, I guess. Okay, reload this. Okay. get teleported. Where's my
Yeah,
target?
where is he? Oh, he's over there.
I think he's one of these two. You?
Should be him. I think it's
Not him.
That's not him.
Miss.
Where is he?
Well, here's my target, I guess.
Oh, that's him.
Mosquito. What the heck? You're never here.
He's not supposed to be here. Okay, whatever.
Why? I got spotted.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, hang on.
Oh,
Hang
you
on,
got
hang on.
spotted.
Okay, this glitch should work. Hang on, I think I did it right. I think I did a cool glitch real quick. Yeah, I got spotted. Don't worry about it. This is the lowest on the chain for missions I was worried about, but it's fine now.
First time.
We're gonna no traces this mission. I could just murderize the guy again because it's faster, and still falling is natural causes, so if you throw a guy over the edge, there was nothing you could have done about that. But now it gets to no traces this because I did a glitch. So if you restart the mission immediately after completing it, all the guards are in stand down mode because of how the mission is supposed to play out. So we get to just run up here, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you know what? I didn't get to do this mission right, but I got to show off a weird quirk. So that's something at least.
There you go. Think of the positives.
Yeah.
Attention hostile force. We have eliminated your commander. Escape is impossible. Lay down your weapons immediately. Surrender now, and you will not be fired upon.
Cutscenes.
Question: Is it Miller talking right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Miller
Good old
going
Miller.
on about
Yeah.
threats and things,
Yeah.
revenge or something. I don't know.
I mean, he's talking a lot as usual. I mean, it's Miller.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We'll forgive him.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a strange relationship we have with Miller. Like, we love him and hate him at the same time because he likes to talk a lot, actually.
Please
Yeah.
select a mission.
So anytime I'm at Mother Base like this, you've probably noticed by now, I'm actually selecting retake the platform because it's the fastest way to get back to the ACC. I could call a chopper, but that would actually be slower than loading this mission and then aborting the mission. So if you're playing casually at home, I just saved you a bunch of time. You're welcome. All right, our
Okay,
next
so
mission,
don't-
Cursed Legacy.
Don't do chop escape on this
Oh,
one.
hey! You're right. I forgot.
I knew it.
All right, I have to re-equip D-Walker because he gets unequipped from doing that other mission, and then I'm going to switch back to our overpowered grenade launcher. Everything else should be good, so we'll select daytime, off we go. Yes, so this is one of the only missions, like there's very few obviously, but we don't want to chopper skip this mission because it puts us on the other side of the map. Chopper skip tends to pick the available start locations from the free roam and go off of that. And it's not consistent, and I don't know if it's an issue with like how the game was developed, if there were other start locations that were removed, but the code is still there, and that's why we start in weird spots sometimes. But for this mission, one of the start zones is on the other end of the map. So somehow, some way, one of the few times P-Quad is the faster option. Thank you, P-Quad.
Yeah. Glad you're here.
I haven't said it yet, but I really enjoy how each level kind of has its own little design to make it look like a movie almost, or a television show where you can see like, created and directed by.
This is a really cinematic game. I mean, Kojima is. I mean, I'm sure this guy will be able to do a movie because he has like a real talent of directing the cutscene. If you watch the cutscene from Metal Gear Solid 5, This is amazing. The cutscenes are amazing in terms of directing and etc. etc. Yeah, this is a really cinematic
Yeah,
game.
very cinematic game.
I mean, all Kojima games are really cinematic. If you play Death Stranding, it is too.
Yeah, it's the Hollywood series. It's a very cinematic series of games. If you like cool cutscenes in your games, this series is for you.
Yeah,
Barely
really,
through the grass.
definitely. Yeah, that was fast actually. Well,
That was good, yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you spot a guard as you're extracting, you actually skip some of Miller's dialogue. So this mission actually ends a little bit slower. Or did I say slower? Faster. It's
yeah,
faster.
you said slower. Yeah.
What the heck? I'm all messed up. Whatever. We end that mission a little quicker because we looked at a guy for half a second. All right.
true.
Next is
The White Mamba.
Yes. White
We're gonna
Mamba
see
is,
a famous character of the Metal Gear Solid saga. You probably won't recognize him if you don't know the lore, but this is a famous character.
We're not going to interact with him very much.
No.
If you like in a normal playthrough, you'd have a little boss fight with him, but we are going to circumvent that and kind of knock him out very quickly. But to do that, we have to first get to him. So
Yeah,
what
really
I'm going to do
quickly, yeah.
is right at the start here, I'm calling a supply drop right on those supplies there. And then I call in D-Walker. The timing is pretty tight for this strategy, so I've got to go. But this supply drop that we're calling in up there is going to distract a guard that would normally see us otherwise. So this is like something I've dreamed about for a long time, is having a good strategy involving supply drops. And I've experimented with it, never found anything actually usable, but it works in this specific scenario. So it's a very cool thing to have, is to utilize that bit of the game that otherwise we wouldn't get to use very much. So we ran a little bit to make some noise, which draws out Eli.
Boom.
We give him a little hit from our special trank grenade launcher.
Support helicopter requested.
And off we go. That's mission complete. We just gotta hop in the helicopter and we're good. Yeah, like I said, there's normally a whole little CQC boss fight with him, but the trank grenade launcher just bypasses everything in life.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why.
Okay, we're getting near the end of the run. We're working our way there. We're gonna do the stealth version of the war economy, which is gonna be like our last normal mission before we go through what I think is fair to call the gauntlet portion of this run. So the war economy, again, this is another Steg had a weekend to think things over strategy. So
maybe another funky strat today, maybe Steg. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Infiltrate the platform.
Well, I'm pretty sure I showed you this one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You showed me, but maybe maybe
yeah,
you changed
if
the
you-
strategy for some reasons. So,
No,
yeah.
not a well. Let's see, 47's there, so I need you, because you start with a cutscene, so we can chopper skip our way down. Everything is good. Time of day, we want day. So, if you've seen the run I have on YouTube or the secret world record that I have hidden in my Twitch channel, you know that the strategy for this mission is kind of boring. I just go over to a shed, smoke a cigar for a while, and then the target drives up next to me, and I Fulton him from there. Now, we're going to try to do something that's a little bit faster, but a little bit harder to set up.
Head to the airport first.
So we call D-Walker right there, and he'll turn
The
for
map
us
has been
nicely.
updated.
We're going to take our smoke grenade and pop it there. There. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
you got it. Okay, second try.
All right. So if you look at D-Walker's like a setup, he has a little black box, like a control panel on the top of him. And if you throw it just right, you can make a grenade stick on that. And you can carry a smoke grenade with you. So we, as in Snake, are in stealth right now because of the smoke. But because of how the smoke grenade works, they can just make out D-Walker. So they know that there's something there that they need to shoot, and they'll definitely take out D-Walker, but they're not going to take out and notice me.
But
So it's a weird...
Thankfully, the
it's a
walker is
weird
kind of
stealth.
tanky, so it shouldn't be a problem. You can take a lot of damage, but yeah, for some reason they're gonna see they will see the walker, they're not the dude driving the walker
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah,
Updated.
Just a random autonomous machine just
Yeah, I
flying.
mean, just oh, this dude.
right in the head.
Okay.
Right through the helmet.
Okay, bye bye,
Bye-bye.
bye bye.
Good old sleep grenade.
Yeah, the famous one.
Arrived
Yeah.
at the base.
Perfect stealth.
Amazing.
Hey, amazing.
Amazing.
Okay. Well, that was fun while it lasted. Now we've got the pain train of missions.
You got
So,
3 left, I think. No, you got
Yeah,
Malik
so we
Arkea.
need... Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So... So, this is Extreme Metallic Archaea. I'm in a leather jacket.
Deploying.
I die in 2 hits. Some things I die in 1 hit.
Wonderful, isn't it?
So it's great. The only saving grace to this is I have a very special weapon I've made just for these guys. So I've taken the Serval sniper rifle, which is a automatic or semi-auto rather sniper. And I took out the sniper ammo and I shoved a shotgun magazine into it. So this is a
means-
shotgun sniper rifle.
Which means each
That's-
particles, yeah. So which means each particles of it will do damage of 1 sniper shot. So that's why it's gonna. Oof, it's gonna be pretty quick if the skulls behave.
What?
This is not going well.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no.
want to CQC him, but okay. All right.
That's for the style.
Let's get a hold of ourselves here. This is fine. We got this. Hold still. Thank you. That's 1 down.
There you go.
All right. All right. Headshot, apparently. We're fine. All right, 1 more. Where are you? All right. You want to hop around? That's fine. Nice going, boss.
Nice
You're
going,
looking good, boss. So if they hit me with that machete, I'm basically at critical health and just ready to keel over. So I managed to dodge the real threats, but I've looked better.
Yo, don't go too hard on Cold Talker, man. I mean, this is an old guy.
Extraction.
He's
Don't
fine.
throw him like on the ground like that. Poor guy.
He's sturdy. He's got parasites. He's fine. Perfect stealth.
Perfect stealth, of
One
course.
One of the problems with that mission, and you may have noticed me trying to be a bit careful, is because it is the Serval, the weapon we were worried about killing a guy through a door earlier, it penetrates bodies as well. So if I hit the skulls with it and a soldier's right behind them, I'll kill one of those soldiers. So thankfully,
Just like the doors.
just like the doors, the skulls are kind of like doors. They're doorways into pain. But we got through that. Cad, what do you think? The real tough one for last?
I want to say yeah. I want to say the real tough for the end.
Okay.
Actually.
All
yeah.
right. Okay. You've got it.
Please select a mission.
All right. We're gonna go into mission 50 then. We
remember the big robot we saw, Sahelanthropus? Remember it, right? Like a big robot. It seems
Yes.
like really, really huge thing.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you know what?
this
I'm not
is-
gonna say a thing. Just watch and you'll see.
That's
So
always
this
that's always the best thing.
At the end of chapter 1, there is a boss fight against the titular Metal Gear. For this though, there is an extreme variant, so it does more damage, has more health, is stronger, faster, better. The thing is, we have a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Haha, old tired joke. All right, we're gonna come over here. Hey, buddy. So he's gonna do a big wind-up attack at the start, and we're just gonna give him what for. Easy
Bye-bye.
peasy. Goodbye, Sally. It was fun. So
Support helicopter requested.
Was that it?
Earlier, you may have remembered I mentioned I had to differentiate rocket launchers. I had a really ugly rifle rocket launcher earlier. So that one that you saw was a shotgun rocket launcher, just for that fight. I had it for other missions in the past. Now it's restricted to that one. So that was neat. That was nice while it lasted.
Okay, so the last mission for today, and this is the famous mission. We said that it's probably the harder mission in the run.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is definitely the harder one.
Deploying.
So, okay, I just thought something funny because the name of the mission is Quiet Exit, and well, it's not that much the case actually. So,
This is I feel sick now that I'm loading this mission. All right, so it's okay because we already had one mission that could go either way, and we lost our stealth ranking over it. So if for some reason we don't get stealth on this one, that's fine. It is what it is. But
try to go
this
for it,
mission,
please.
so I am trying to do the IL strategy as much as possible. But I'm rusty and haven't played this game in a year. So the issue is at the start, we're going to very precisely place a lot of mines. We're on the old version of the game though, so the mines we have are weaker than the mines on current patch. So I have to also use C4, which has a big blast radius, which can mess things up. We're gonna place some mines right at the start, and then there's a lot of strict timing and aiming as soon as things pop up, and we'll see how long I keep it together before everything falls apart, and we're just praying and hoping to live as long as possible.
Yeah, and there's
I'm in
a
a
lot.
leather jacket.
There's a lot of
we
audio
mentioned-
clues in this mission too, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be important to listen carefully because as you said, there's a lot of precise setups for not the smoke, please.
Yeah. There's I need one of these back, I think. It's hard to remember, but
Please.
it's fine. I'm doing my best. Should be right in here. This left side is, the left side. It's kind of a dice roll anyways, even getting the right setup a lot of the times. I don't know if the tanks have varying spawns, but a lot of the times, even if you set things up right, those explosives just won't hit anything. So we're just hoping for the best.
And the parasites.
Yeah, hoping is a big part of this
We'll
mission.
know for sure what
Yeah.
it's up to. But we need to secure her ASAP.
Oh, by the way, I like to say like a lot, but this is a stealth game, all right?
This is a stealth game.
Yeah,
this
is a
is
stealth
the
game.
stealthiest mission in this game. Oh boy. So one other thing is I have a very normal, I'm being serious, I have a normal CGM rocket launcher, which is in the base game, no online, no upgrade like DLC or later stuff. This is the strongest weapon you can get your hands on. I have to use it because the glitched weapons aren't strong enough. Like the rifle rocket launcher won't kill from far away, kill these tanks quick enough. And
No escape. You inquire to take them out.
right here, and the shotgun, like the shotgun rocket launcher, it's a shotgun. I have to be close, and I don't want to be close to these tanks.
That makes sense.
So, the problem is the CGM launcher has the blast radius of a semi-truck. So if any soldiers are anywhere in its vicinity, ooh, that one wasn't supposed to get hit. That's awkward. That one I was supposed to actually use this on, but okay. Okay, you lived. If the soldiers are anywhere near these tanks when they go off, that's it. That's the end of the stealth rank. Soldiers can just randomly die a lot of the time, and if they die, that's it for me. Also, I don't have the right weapon.
Oh,
I forgot the Aragon. Oh boy. Okay, it's fine, probably. I just need to lay down for a second, heal up. I can probably supply drop it, but
it's risky actually.
yeah. Okay. Unfortunately, these little soldiers are very strong. They have maxed out rifles. Ugh. Okay.
Oh.
All right, no, it's fine, it's fine. So checkpoint should still be like the start of the fight. I don't think I got far enough. So, yep. All right. This mission alone is why I gave a big estimate.
Mission info has been
So, oh, that's nice. And I missed the timing, so thank you. Please don't kill anyone. Hopes. Okay, reinforcements, here they come. We are going to go ahead and get my side pistol now.
Please select a
Yeah,
job
I need this.
requested.
That's gonna make things a lot easier with these soldiers. So the base Aragon is like a long-range stun shotgun. Instead, I've given it rifle ammo to help with the shot grouping and keep things a little bit tighter. All right, right side, you're not supposed to be alive. So let's grab the Aragon first before I deal with this tank. Hopefully quiet. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, just be right there. Stay on that hill, please. Get in the box, it's your home, you want to be there. Great. Okay, that should help some. If quiet kills a soldier, it does not count as a kill unless I order her to do it. I need to focus on healing. Unfortunately, the best way to heal is to just lay down and do nothing for a minute. Oh, quiet finished off that tank, nice. You gonna finish that guy too? No, okay, that's fine. I got him. That's fine. We're a team here. All right, in the back. Ow! Wow, that guy's freewheeling back there. Look at him go. Where is? Oh, there you
He's
are.
over there, yeah.
Enemy presence detected. May not
Please.
status
There. Aragon does not have the best shot grouping, unfortunately. Where were those supplies? There should already be supply chain in there. No. Okay. Bad luck. Okay. Right side is where all the tanks are right now.
Map has been updated.
Just need to heal. You son of a gun. These guys just go ham on you a lot of times. Thank you, Quiet.
Thank you, Quiet.
Enemy presence
All right, so that right side I was talking about, there's that tank. Oh my gosh, it does not want to lock on.
Oh, come on, dang.
Come on. Thank you. It's
There
gonna
you
hit a
go.
rock.
Ah, the tree.
That's fine. Enough hit it. Whatever. Gosh, this is a nightmare. This is. Hey, you remember how I had a plan? We are freewheeling right now. All right, these tanks are the worst ones. Well, they're up there because we're getting to the tanks that can one-shot me and are very good at homing. So as I fire, I aim up a little bit to try, hopes and prayers, get those missiles to go high enough to get over that hill. Got a tank back there. Hopefully it hits some of mines. Great. I'm glad that worked at least. All right, this chopper. Yeah, enemy gunship. I know. Big funny joke. Caution. Please don't kill anyone. If the chopper lands on somebody, it'll count as a kill.
Shouldn't be a problem. On you, maybe? Oh, yeah.
Probably fine. Enemy's finished. We're almost done. Reloading.
I just love how when he shoots the rocket,
missed.
throws it on the ground.
I see who's shooting me. I just. Hey! That's a dead man. I might have counted as a kill there. Don't know. I need up away from that one soldier.
I don't think you should. I mean, it's the tank that killed him, so...
Oh, they're on the motor here now. Pain. Stay in place, please. Oh, hi there. Ooh, last one. Yes. I was about to
that was a
die.
close one.
I was 100% dead. It's, oh, jeez.
got it.
I hate this mission.
At least you did it. You did it. Finished the
It
mission.
took a retry, but we got there.
Yeah. Oh, come on,
Snake, please, please, Snake, climb. Now's not the time. Okay,
Not now,
so
Snake, please.
we probably lost perfect stealth because I'm sure somewhere, somehow, one soldier randomly died. But you get the idea, right? I'm sure that's what matters. Oh, man. There's two different very safe strategies you can do for this mission. The problem and why I didn't do them is they are something like 6 minutes each slower because of how weak those other options are compared to the CGM launcher. So we kind of have to just stick our necks out there and just pray and hope for the best. And that's what we got.
Okay,
Right,
so...
we are coming up on time.
Oh, you killed someone. Someone died somewhere.
What a
But,
sour note.
yeah. But I mean,
Alright.
this is a really hard mission. Like, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus,
Alright.
yeah, you have no clue during the mission if you kill someone or not.
Yeah.
You will automatically add the surprise at the score screen at the end.
When I actually do runs, this is the first mission because of the high chance of game over. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, time.
GG.
GG, man. Wow,
Well,
that was yeah,
was
that
rough.
was interesting.
Hey, at least we look good.
Yeah, that's all that matters. We look cool, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah, that
man.
was really, really cool to watch. Like, really.
Yeah. So, if anyone was curious on maybe wanting to learn more about this particular run or other Metal Gear Solid runs or anything else along those lines, any place where they would end up going?
Yeah, there's a hey, wow, there's a wonderful community you can join. It's on Discord. Coming to a Discord near you. Metal Gear Speedrunners. We have a website as well, but Metal Gear Speedrunners, MGSR, we're a wonderful community.
I did not
Every
choose to be
single
quiet.
Metal Gear game is supported
wanted to
there.
express my feelings
Metal
to
Gear
you.
Solid 1, the MXX games, NES games,
If only we
Metal
shared
Gear
common
Mobile, Metal Gear Acid, Peace Walker, Mary Gear Solid, a fan-made game. Everything you can ask for is supported on MGSR. There is someone who can help you. If you're interested in any of these games, I highly, highly recommend joining. Other than that, just very quickly, I want to mention Pewable, who found years ago a lot of the glitches we use in this game, a lot of which were forgotten because at some point everything was on current patch. And once we went back to old version, we had to rediscover all of his stuff and dig it back up. So thanks, Pewable, for all the work you did. Breezer for being the record holder for this category for years and laying the groundwork for a lot of this. And just everyone else, Metza, OCM, all you guys. And CAD, thanks for joining me. Who do you want to shout out?
Man, no worries. Thanks. Big shout out to One Cool Man, fantastic runner, Metza, which is the current world record holder for Chapter 1 any%, and Chapter 1 PSNK, Perfect Stealth No Kills. And actually, Steg, I want to give you a big shout out too, because you are the one who gave me the will of running this game. If anyone wants to run the game, learn the game, check out the commentary of Steg Run for the any% category, Chapter 1. Fantastic video. I learned a lot with it. So yeah, that's pretty.
Thank you very much, man.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
really appreciate it.
And-
Go ahead.
Go ahead, finish.
Real quick, shout out Bargain Bin. Thanks for having us. And if you wanted this game, usually on sale, frequently on sale, so you can get it for pretty cheap very often. What was the final time, if I may ask? Okay, that's fine.
All right, well,
Let's not worry about it.
Thank you both so very, very, very much. While the bargain bin may be closing for the night, don't worry. Speedrun from the Crypt is coming up next. Some great games lined up there with Ekdysis as our host, so stay tuned.